Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or of course, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot if this is your very first time here. Thank you so much for joining me today for our pick a card reading. And of course, as you can tell by the title you just clicked on, our topic today is a joyful message meant just for you. So this reading should bring a smile to your face, or at the very least should just bring a little tidbit of peace to make your stressful day that much better. Today we are picking with the Sun from 3 different tarot decks today. So for pile 1 over here on the left, we have the Sun from the Vivid Journey Tarot. For pile 2 in the middle, we have the Sun from Tarot of the Divine. And for pile 3, we have Sun or Sunlight in this particular deck from the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. So just quick refresher, pile 1, Vivid Journey. Pile 2, Tarot of the Divine. Pile 3, Forest of Enchantment. Though, of course, as I always say, you are welcome to pause on this part of the video if you need more time to decide what pile is calling to you. If you are new to pick a card readings, my method is just to slowly close your eyes. Take in a deep cleansing breath. Imagine white light filling in your lungs and breathing negativity back out. Nice and slow. And when you open your eyes again, see which card you are drawn to most. You'll kind of feel it in your gut. Like we always say, our gut instinct, gut intuition. And that is the pile I recommend that you choose for today. But whatever your method, whenever you have decided, you can drop down to the description box below and or the top pinned comment beneath the reading. Click on the timestamp there for your pile. And I'll see you in our happy little chat about a joyful message meant just for you. Toodaloo. Hello there, my beautiful pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a joyful message meant just for you. As you recall, the deck you used to pick your pile today was the Vivid Journey Tarot. Very beautiful deck with vibrant colors. Pretty fitting for a tarot reading about happiness, right? And of course, when we do pick with tarot deck cards, I always like to put your pile leader right back into the deck so that when we draw your tarot cards, it's available for part of the message if need be. So to begin the reading today, I want to draw 1 oracle card and 5 different tarot cards. So we'll do that right now. Calling in Spirit for the highest best good of pile 1. Could you please explain more about something that you want them to know that will make them happy or joyful? Thank you. Kind of an open-ended reading. Could be a tidbit of information. It could be a blessing coming. Let's see. Okay, we've got a few contenders here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we have this little oracle to help with the beginning of the reading as well. Whew. Kind of hard to shuffle an oracle this small. Okay, and then let's see. What area of their life does this surround? Thank you. Spirit. Okay, that was quick. So we have this card right here. Let's unveil. So the beginning card is... so you got Windy, if you're not familiar with this particular... So this deck is from... It references a show called Gravity Falls. If you're not familiar with Gravity Falls, just... ignore the references, I'll kind of explain it for you, but this is a character in Gravity Falls, and she represents strong, sharp wit, resourceful. So, given that this card I asked to represent, like, what area of your life does this happy news kind of revolve around? It's something where you've either had to be strong, or smart, or resourceful, or it's something that will help you embody those traits. So maybe lately you've been feeling like there's some area of your life it's like you feel like you're not strong enough to really go up against, or maybe you feel like you don't have all the resources you need for something along those lines, because that's what this particular character, pile 1, she's literally like a lumberjack's daughter, so she's very resourceful. She knows how to fight, she knows how to get things, she knows how to survive. She's like a survivor kind of, so... Something to do with that area of your life where you've had to kind of been like a survivor, or you're being asked to rise to that challenge. There's some information that they want to bring forward that helps you in that area. So let's grab your tarot cards and see. We have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so Knight of Wands is taking action on our ambitions or our power or willpower, or could also represent a person that represents these things. Pile 1, the Knights and all the court cards in tarot, let's be honest, do have to deal with, or like sometimes they can represent people. All right. So definitely, like, you know, that ambition can mean a lot of different things, pile one. That could be your job. It can be something that, you know, like a dream or a wish of yours. It could be whatever it is that really sparks the fire inside of you. Because that's the thing with wands and tarot. Wands is the suit of fire. Things that really get your creative spirit going, makes you happy to get out of bed every day, whatever that means to you. And we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so we have someone who's distributing wealth to two different people. We have the balance scales. So very fittingly, the Six of Pentacles represents fairness and equality when it comes to especially money or career matters. So I don't know if maybe you've been struggling gaining the financial resources you need for something recently, pile one. It's like you want to take action on a dream or a wish of yours or an ambition of yours, but it's like there's some question about where is the money coming from, or how will the money be distributed? Maybe you've been having issues getting the money like distributed to you, like there's a blockage or an obstacle in that way. Maybe that's why you've had to be kind of like resourceful and strong, like we talked about Wendy, the character, right? Let's grab the middle card, the Heart of Matter. The Four of Swords reversed. Okay, having to become active, because this is like the opposite of rest in tarot when Four of Swords is reversed. I think you maybe thought it was going to be easier than it actually has been so far, pile one. And with the Heart of the Matter being the Four of Swords reversed, it's like having to take a lot more active role than you thought you would have had to, or it's like something finally came to your attention that maybe you were kind of sleeping on for a bit because you just didn't really recognize that that was an issue or that was going to be a problem or an obstacle in your way. So finally, it's like you're waking up and you're like, oh God, this is a thing I have to really contend with. Okay, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. And then we have, okay, another Pentacles. Four Pentacles reversed means generosity with finances, not being stingy with finances. Okay, once again, I was like, I wonder if you have an obstacle to getting money or something, or there's like an obstacle in your career. Remember I talked about with like the Six of Pentacles earlier? Plus, Wendy having to be that resourceful character, right? I think that's what it is, pile one. That's just confirming it to me. I think it's like there's something to do with like the release of funds that you're looking for here because of that Four of Pentacles, just reconfirming that being reversed. And then last but not least, we have the Devil reversed as the outcome. Okay, so pile one, I want to tell you right now, I know we haven't barely even drawn any of your cards, but the Devil reversed is about something being freed as your outcome. So if you have been worried about something being locked away or kept from you or like kept behind like lock and key, like I said, I think maybe it's like finances being stuck behind some sort of door, like you can't get through, there's an obstacle. This is telling me that part of your happy message is that's going to be freed. That's going to be, the obstacle will be cleared, and it's like whatever it is that you're searching for in terms of resources is going to be open to you. Okay, also the Devil reversed represents freeing ourselves in some way. So, maybe there's some aspect of this thing having been held back from you that it's almost kind of felt like a self-imprisonment, like you're kind of stuck somewhere, and like that is the outcome. Tells me it's like you're freeing yourself too, like you're finally free to do something. Okay, so beautiful, pile one. If you've been looking for good news in terms of like clearing blockages with your ambitions and career and money, this is a fantastic reading to receive. So, but like I said, we actually do have more cards to get to, but that's what I'm seeing so far just from these first few. Okay, but they are commending you for how strong that you've been so far. Okay, like I was talking about Wendy, the character, having to have been strong, having to have been resourceful, but we can't always be strong and resourceful all the time because it's just like, you can be, pile one, but it's almost like you stress out a lot if you have to always be on your A game with everything. Like sometimes it's just a lot easier when the universe opens up more blessings to you, of course, and it's just like, you can breathe a sigh of relief because you're like, oh my God, I don't have to be Atlas holding up the world anymore. Like the universe is throwing some karma my way, some good vibe, not good vibes, maybe good luck. That's a little bit more good fortune, right? That's a better word maybe to use. Throwing more good fortune your way, and it's like, finally you get that relief, that breath, sigh of relief off of your shoulders of, oh God, okay, now I feel more free. Now this thing has finally been freed up. Okay. And I do see that if it has specifically been money that you've been looking for being freed up, that's going to happen soon because this is the near future position here with the Four of Pentacles reversed, pile one. That, and like I said, that card means releasing money. Okay. Instead of like, because you can see here in the picture, if it's upright, he's holding on to his money. He's like, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm not going to let go of it. But reversed, it's like, okay, the arms finally open, and then there comes the resources. Okay, so really good news off the bat, pile 1. Resources opening up, yourself feeling more free. Also, too, like with the 6 of Pentacles having come out, I wonder if there's been like an unfairness to this. Like someone hasn't been like fair to you, or like a company that you're trying to get money from hasn't been fair to you, or wherever the money is coming from, it's like it's not being distributed the way that it's supposed to be right now. And I think that's what's been causing your stress, because you're like, I hate having to fight this. I hate having to work against this, because it's just stressful, pile 1, right? Like, you want people just to do what they're supposed to, or the company to do what they're supposed to, and just give you the thing that they're supposed to give you. But don't worry, that's clearing very soon. Like, these 2 are fantastic cards in that case, okay, to get at the end here, so. Also, too, the 4 of Swords reversed. I know I talked about it's like maybe you finally having to, like you notice something, like you came to an awareness or an awakeness about something. That also is a great card to get if things have been stagnant for a while, because upright, the 4 of Swords can mean like a stagnancy as well as like rest. Reversed is the way that you got it, though. So the opposite of stagnancy is things finally flowing forward, okay? Blockages being cleared, right? So just lots of confirmation. Kind of repetitive cards a little bit, because a lot of them kind of mean sort of the same thing, right? You even got, 2 4s, right? 4 4. So yes, and 4, of course, we all know means stability. So stability is also on its way for you. Okay, let's draw some more cards. I picked some really cute, happy cards today because I thought it would work really well with this type of reading, being, joy is the keyword of today's reading. So I literally have a cat deck with a bunch of, like, kittens and cute animals on it. So apologies if any people are, like, dog people. I think there are some dogs in this deck, too, but I specifically am a cat person, so I have a really cute cat deck. So Spirit, if you could come forward for pile 1 today and tell us more about something that will bring them joy or more context to what's going on here. Could you give us a cat, please, or some kind of fluffy, cute animal? What's going on? Okay, well, for sure this one. Oh, so you got a kitten and a bunny, which is adorable, right? We have hiding. I'll read the back for you. It says, excuse me, there's no need for you to take a backseat in this situation. You have what it takes to deal with the situation that's presented itself. Remember, I was like, oh, you've had to be resourceful? Yep, you have what it takes to deal with the situation that has presented itself. There is no need for hesitation. Draw on your experience and your inner strength. Remember, we talked about strong. And step into the limelight. It's your time to shine. Okay, so pile 1. I'm sorry I'm going to sound repetitive, but this is just reconfirming this once again. Something's going to go from inactive to active, from blocked to clear, okay? So, 2, I think there's a piece of your personal ambition locked into this too, because we talked about the Knight of Wands at the very beginning about, like, this is someone who takes action on their ambitions. So it's almost like you coming into the limelight too, like it says here. It's like your time to shine, your time to step into your limelight, draw on your inner strength, things like that. So there's also like an aspect of this that's going to make a personal part of you shine. So I wonder if even some of you too, it's like you've been waiting to hear back on like a promotion or like a new job. And it's like something where when you get that confirmation in your, like, the next few days to maybe weeks to, I wouldn't say months, probably like days to weeks is kind of the time frame I'd see with this reading, right? It's going to make like a part of you shine in some way, some quality of yours. Like it says inner strength. It talks about like your experience too. That's why I also kind of thought like maybe a promotion or a new job, because like experience, of course, is really important with those things, pile 1. So in either case, so for all of you watching this particular pile, you're going to shine in some way with this as well. So, which also connects to the windy card because, talked about being resourceful and strong. Beautiful. Okay, and then our next gorgeous deck is flowers. So let's grab a flower for you, which is perfect for this time of year. It's not quite spring yet in the Northern Hemisphere, but I'm jumping the gun and I thought, I want some flowers today. So we'll grab a flower for you too. We have kittens and bunnies and flowers. What more could you want from life, right? Okay. Well, for sure this one really wanted to pop out. Oh, cute. We have apple blossoms, choices, knowledge, and illumination. White are the flowers of apple tree that brings us fruits of fertility, right? So, of course, you know, when we think of apples, we think of, I mean, at least in Western culture, the most popular reference we think, of course, you know, like Eve eating from the tree in the Garden of Eden, the tree of knowledge, right? That's kind of what it means, being, you know, apple blossoms, knowledge. We also think of, you know, teachers. What do you give a teacher who imparts knowledge? You give them an apple, okay? Things like that. So, 2, though, it says choices and illumination. I think you're also going to gain some insight onto why this thing was so blocked, because I think right now maybe you're really confused as to why it was blocked, or why, like, the resources weren't coming through. And choices, too, tells me pile 1. It's almost like you're going to have a choice of some sort even in the outcome. So I wonder if there's even more than, like, one positive thing coming from this. And it's like you have, like, 2 choices to make, or at least more than one. But yeah, but there's also the aspect of knowledge and illumination. There's some part of this where you're going to know more than you did before that's going to make everything that was going on a lot clearer. Like, you're going to be like, oh, that's why that was blocked, or oh, that's why that wasn't working, and now that the obstacle is cleared, now I can move through. Okay. Very, very cute. We have very pretty, too, apple blossoms. Let's see, where do I want to put this card? Because I've got 2 more. I'll put it up here. I always apologize to my pile 1s. You're my guinea pigs for figuring out the layout of every single card. But then we also have angels. I thought angels would be perfect for a reading about joy, right? So let's see what angel you received today. Shuffle the deck here. Thank you. Okay, this one for sure wanted to come out. We have, oh cute, signs and reminders. Signs and reminders. We have a feather with butterflies, which mean rebirth, and we have, looks like swallows, I think those are down here on the left, with a rainbow. So rainbows, as we all know, are miracles, right? They are what comes after the time of sorrow or loss, which is rain. When the sun finally comes out, fitting for today's reading, right? We had sun as our pile leaders. And signs and reminders is basically a card from, specifically this is an angel guide oracle, right? Pile 1. It's a card from angels to remind you, not only are they around you during seemingly like what's been a difficult time, I can tell, right? But there are signs that you should look out for to know that they're with you. Okay, so white feathers are a great sign of angels. Angel numbers, I'm specifically hearing 1111 for you, pile 1. Okay, which is funny because you are pile 1, and 1111 is 4 1s, right? So look out for 1111 when it comes to times on the clock. Look out for white feathers. And then in this particular card, we also have monarch butterflies and swallows. So look at butterflies, look at birds. While you're going through this process, this alchemy from, you know, blocked to, oh, okay, resources are flowing again, or this thing is fixed. Pay attention to synchronicities like that, so that you know that it's a sign from your angel saying, hello, I'm here with you, and I'm helping clear this blockage with you, okay? I'm helping bring you to a place where more of your good skills and your strength can shine, where you have greater resources, you know, where you are allowed more knowledge of everything going on that helps you move forward, things like that. Okay, so that card is just a reminder, hey, there are angels around you. Look for the signs of them, okay? Especially when it comes to when this clears out, because I think oftentimes when that card comes out, pile 1, it's a reminder that what's the best way to put that? It's like a reminder that, like, of what they're doing and how they're working at the time that they're working for you to put things in motion that will help clear blockages in your life, okay? And then we have one last card, the Citadel Oracle. Okay. Okay, there we go. Hard to shuffle. Sometimes it's like 10 cards want to come out. We can't take 10 cards, unfortunately, but you know, I was just talking about alchemy. Look at that. The alchemist you have in this element of air, balance, invention, and destruction. And this is Latin up here is solve et coagula. I think that means solution, of, and coagula makes me think of the word coagulation. And for those of you not familiar with that word, that basically means something thickening. Okay, like we think of like blood coagulating is usually the term that we usually use it with is blood. Okay, so solution of thickening. Okay, and let's see, we've got, looks like acorns and shells and an oak leaf up here. Also a broken bone, it looks like. Almost looks like a femur, kind of. And we've got the feather again. Okay, so that's just another thing of, like, we had the feather in signs and reminders and the feather here. Look for feathers as a sign. Pile 1 of angels being near with this. But even looking at the keywords, balance, invention, and destruction. We had balance with the 6 of Pentacles, because even there's like a scales in his hand here. So this is telling me that also there's greater balance coming through because of this. And that could literally mean, because sometimes when we get messages, sometimes it's like, you know, oh, kind of more of a metaphorical thing. It can literally mean a literal thing. Pile 1 as in balance as in your money, the balance in your bank account, okay? So I do see positive things in terms of that, but balance in general, of course, we know, outside of the literal money balance, we think of things being equal, okay? So there's really an emphasis on things being equalized. I almost wonder if something has been unfair to you, and that's why balance is such a strong message here for you. And then, yeah, invention and destruction. So I almost think, too, because of the way alchemy works, it's taking one thing and turning it into another. But in order to turn something into another thing, the first thing has to be destroyed, right? It no longer withholds that identity, right? So I almost wonder if part of your worry with this pile 1 is like you almost have to deconstruct something first, or like you already did. And it's like made the stakes all that much more intense for this to work out. Like maybe that's been causing some of your stress and your worry about like this finally unblocking and clearing through, because it's like you've had to give up something to get something, and you've already done the give up part, and so you're biting your nails, kind of like, okay, well, when am I going to get that alchemy through from the universe? When is it going to turn what I gave up into something that I'm being given, right? So that's just another sign, pile 1. Like if you especially have like sacrificed for whatever this is the universe telling you, okay, I'm going to pay you back, right? There's a solution coming for the sacrifice that you made, okay? Like I even keep hearing something about like water into wine. Like you gave up the water and now it's transmuting into the wine, okay? In which of course we think of wine as like, you know, celebratory, something to enjoy after the harvest of the grapes, right? It's something that you've worked hard for and enjoying the fruits of your labor afterwards, okay? So your labor isn't lost. This wasn't a waste, pile 1, whatever this particular thing was. Like I said, I think for most of you probably it's career or finances or something with money. Something with an ambition of yours. It's going to work out. It's just a little bit more time from the universe, but not much more. I am seeing that that's going to unblock soon with that 4 of Pentacles reversed. It's going to go whoosh, like, you know. The imagery I always kind of think of when I think of an obstacle clearing is like leaves clearing out of a stream so that the water can flow again. Okay. Beautiful reading. So, just to summarize everything so far, pile 1, it seems like if you've had an obstacle recently, especially in terms of your ambitions or your career, your finances, that's going to clear through. You're going to have greater balance in your life. Like I said, could literally mean in terms of money, right? In your bank account balance. And balance in general of like things being more equal, things being more fair and distributed, you know, equally amongst the groups or between you and other people, things like that. Angels are with you. They're reminding you that. Keep looking out for feathers. And I know 1111 was the particular angel number I was hearing for you. But also butterflies, maybe swallows as well. And let's see. Oh, yes, and we also talked about something about your inner strength and your skills coming to light with this as well. So you're also going to shine in some way, which is interesting because, like I said, the first, the pilators we chose today were with the sun card, and literally that's part of what the sun means in tarot is like something to shine, like truth, knowledge, but also happiness and joy, which is why I did pick that particular card for us to choose from, but it's like a part of you, like a truth of you is going to come out. It's going to shine out like the sun does after the clouds and the rain have dispersed, okay? So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that obstacle to clear, okay? And I'm trying to see, I want to ask just one little last question for you, pile one. I want to know exactly how does it clear. I'm going to grab a tarot card here. Spirit, can you tell me how does it clear for them? Just one card. Like, what's the method or the mechanism? Because I think that will help too. I know I talked about maybe looking for angel signs to kind of get a sense of like what is causing it, but the King of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. So that can represent a person that's important in terms of our job or our career or our finances. It's either like someone gets let go from your company, pile one, or like they're taken out of a role of power because like the King of Pentacles is like the master of that suit. Yeah, like they're taken out of a role of power, or there's some destabilization in terms of a job or finances elsewhere that finally like lodges it loose for you. Like, I almost wonder if there's been like this one person in your way, and it's like this person is the King of Pentacles, and by them being reversed, it's like, okay, they're gonna get like kicked out of the way so that this can come through the way that it's supposed to. Like, you'll finally get the resources you need. Because that's the thing, pile one, is a King of Pentacles reversed can represent a person who's like greedy or like has negative traits regarding career or finance. Like, you know, they hold on to money too much, they're greedy, they're stingy, they're like a Scrooge kind of. Or it can also mean someone who is like not stable with their finances and money, especially masculine energies, as it's the king. Okay. So I think that person in the way is going to just get like cleared out, and that's why that it finally like opens up. Okay. So keep an eye out for that, pile one. All right. Okay, and that's what I will leave you with today for your reading. That is a joyful message meant for you. I hope it was helpful. I hope you liked it. And I hope, of course, like I said at the beginning, it brought a smile to your face, pile one. If you did like it and if it did resonate, please like and comment and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others here on Lone Pine Tarot in the future. And as is our tradition, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile one. Hello there, my beautiful and wonderful pile number two. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a joyful message meant for you. As you recall, the deck you used to pick today was Tarot of the Divine, this particular variation of the Sun. Very beautiful card. I believe that is Ra, to my understanding, the Egyptian god of the sun. But of course, when we do pick with tarot cards, we always put them back into the deck so that they're available for part of the message later. So we'll do that right now. And to begin the reading, we'll draw 5 tarot cards as well as one of the oracle decks to help explain and kind of set the stage for what area of your life does this joyful message pertain to. Okay, so let's shuffle. Reaching Spirit today for the highest best good of pile number 2. Could you please give us 5 cards that explain more about what joyful message you would like to have them hear? Thank you. What do you want them to know that will bring a smile to their face? Okay, 2, 3, and 5. Okay. And then we're working with an oracle deck. This is actually a Gravity Falls deck. If you're not familiar with the show Gravity Falls, don't worry, I'll just explain it in the reading for you, what your card means. But if the reference seems kind of weird, just know that's it's one of those decks where you kind of have to know it's pop culture, so you have to know the show to be like, what does that mean? But I'll explain it for you, pile 2. So, oh, interesting, you got Bill Cipher. So that's actually a character in Gravity Falls. He's technically the villain, right? Manipulative, powerful, and simmering anger. Okay, so pile 2, I almost wonder if there's been someone in your life recently that's been kind of a villain. Okay, because literally this is like the main antagonist of the entire show. He's like the Eye of Providence made into a character. It's kind of odd, but that's Gravity Falls, right? Yeah, manipulative. It's a demon technically, right? Someone who's powerful, someone that has simmering anger. Okay, and specifically this character is someone who seems like funny and kind of joyful on the outside, but they're actually like evil deep down inside. Okay, so I almost wonder, too, if this person in your life has been, like, they kind of come off as, like, nice at first, but they've been, like, their true colors kind of show later, because that's kind of, like, what this character is like. So It seems like your reading is around someone that is kind of a negative influence in your life recently. I almost wonder if maybe they're kind of clearing away or there's something that's going to get resolved with them. Let's look at your tarot cards to see for sure. We have Judgment. Okay. Judgment, I almost kind of call like the level up card. It's like moving to the next level, especially spiritually. Okay. Moving up, moving to the next phase of something. Okay. Interesting is the inciting incident. Then your second card is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So, pile 2. Typically, this represents maybe a time where you were unable to take action regarding either money or your career. Like, someone's been blocking you in your career a little bit, or it could also mean that, like, something has been ploddingly slow. Because upright, it's the positive aspect of going slow about something. Reversed, it's like, okay, come on, hurry up. So I almost wonder, too, if, like, maybe this person has been kind of impeding your progress in some way, and that's how they're kind of being antagonistic. Or it's like they're dragging their feet in some way, and you're like, okay, come on, hurry up, we gotta get through this. Like, I want to level up here, like, with Judgment, I want to move to the next phase, and they're just like, I almost kind of see, like, for some of you, if this is business related, like, maybe you have a customer that, like, keeps dragging their heels, and you're like, come on, hurry up, I want to get this project done. Or it's like different people in the project are just like taking the longest time to get this done. And you're like, okay, please, come on, hurry up. Or like getting their components done. Something along those lines. It doesn't have to be career pile 2. For some of you, it could be like a family member that you're working on with something with, or maybe a friend group, and like one friend is like dragging their heels with something, I don't know, like deciding, like maybe a trip that you're going to take together, or like a social event you're going to do together. Could even be like maybe they're kind of a disruptive element of your social group, since, like Bill Cipher came out. We'll see. Heart of the matter is, the 9 of Wands. Okay. You've been frustrated, pile 2, I bet. Look at that. 9 of Wands is like determination. Like, it's literally the card of, I am so damn tired, but I have to keep going. Especially next to the Knight of Pentacles reversed. It's literally like, this is going way too slow, but I have to keep going. It's like, it's one of those situations where even though you want it to go faster, you can't make it go faster. And it's so irritating, pile 2, isn't it? Because you're like, oh man, I'm so tired. I'm so ready for this to be done. But that being the heart of the matter, it's literally like the core feeling of everything going on to me as the tarot reader reading this for you. It's just like, oh my God. My condolences, pile 2. It must be a really frustrating situation to be in, right? Holy crap. And then we have Strength. Beautiful. Okay, so this card is a little bit about like wrestling a monster. It's about our courage. It's about our willpower. It's about our literal strength. Okay, so I think too, pile 2, this being the near future card. No, we haven't looked at the outcome yet. Let's grab that. Oh, interesting. You've got the Sun reversed, which is your pile leader. Okay, we'll talk about in a second. Pile 2, I think the happy part of your message is that despite all this frustration up until this point with that like Bill Cipher person, there's something that's going to happen where you're going to be able to kind of wrestle them into shape, almost like how this figure here, which I think is Tam Lin to my understanding, is wrestling this creature. Being able to whip it into shape and be like, okay, we need to get this done. It's like literally having to wrangle like a crocodile lion or whatever beast this is, right? But you're gonna be able to do it because that's what strength means, especially in the near future position, pile 2. It's like you're finally, very soon here, you're gonna be like, okay, I can wrangle this python, I can wrangle this monster, I can get this done, we're gonna get this through, despite maybe someone being kind of antagonistic or manipulative or just dragging their heels, right? But then there's an aspect too here, pile 2, with the Sun reversed as the outcome. I almost would see that as like a negative truth coming out. And I think it's maybe something that you already know about this person, but it might be hard for like other people to kind of understand because maybe you're like the only person in the position to understand like kind of how they are because you're the one that's already had to wrestle with them. And then, but finally it's like the truth comes out for other people. And with it being reversed, it's like not just the truth shining out, but it's like in a negative way. Like it'll shed light on something negative about this. And I think there's almost the word coming through from your spirit today, pile 2, is like redemption. I almost wonder if this person had kind of made you look bad to other people because like they dragged their heels on purpose. And people thought that maybe like it was your fault that things weren't going through, but then that truth comes out is what I'm hearing. And then, yeah, redemption is the word. And then, boom, they realize, oh, pile 2 wasn't the one that was the pain in the butt. It was this Bill Cipher person, whoever's been the antagonist in this situation for you, okay? So not only is the problem going to finally be fixed, pile 2, so that's like happy part number 1, but happy part number 2 to your message is that other people are going to realize, oh, that's why that wasn't getting done, or oh, pile 2 wasn't really the one at fault. It was whoever this person was that's been dragging their heels or been, manipulative here, okay? Very interesting. Yeah, no one wants a Bill Cipher in their life. Manipulative demon, right? But unfortunately, they do exist in human form, as we all know. There are people like that, which, I know we wish they didn't, but they do. But the good news is you're going to get rid of them. Or other people are going to realize, oh, that person's a jerk. Which you already knew, pile 2, but it's good for other people to realize too, right? And then continuing our happy message today, I picked some Oracle decks that are pretty cute, or they're more lighthearted. So I actually have a cat wisdom deck. I know, I apologize to anyone who is like a dog person, but I'm a cat person, and I thought, you know what? Cute fluffy kittens will make a really great happy reading, right? So let's draw a cat card for you. I think there are puppies in this card, or like these decks too. I also, like pile 1 had one with a bunny too. So it's not just cats, but it's mostly cats. I thought kittens would make everybody's day, so. Even if you're a dog person, you've got to admit cats are pretty cute. Oh, see, look, it's a mommy and her kittens. Okay, so we have the gift of giving for you, pile 2. And on the back it says, the gift of giving is a gift that gives back. Indulge in the pleasure of giving freely to those you love, and even practice little acts of kindness to strangers. Bask in the joy of giving, and notice the good that comes back to you. Remember to also give to yourself to restore and boost your own energy. So I think part of this too is there's something about the way that you've given to others that's going to help fix this problem. Like, I think people will look at your giving nature, pile 2, and they'll realize that, like, you haven't been the problem because you're the person that normally is, like, you're the selfless one, not the selfish one, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Like, you're the one that's been, like, mothering this thing and trying to get it off the ground or get it going. Like, the mother feeding her kittens, right? Like, you've been doing your job, you've been diligent, you've been trying to get this thing off the ground, but it's like, people just haven't been seeing that, but then they finally will, because they're like, oh. Because, like it says, the gift of giving is a gift that gives back. So it's like, there's something about what you've been giving that's going to make this turn out better. Or it's going to change it from something, like, with a negative person into, like, removing that person's influence. Or, like I said, shining the light on, like, how they have been a negative influence, okay? So remember giving. Give freely. Acts of kindness. And then also give to yourself is, like, the last message here, right? Because even when you look at, like, the mother with her kittens, right? I mean, yes, we think of motherhood as the energy of giving, right? Pile 2, but mothers also need to receive so that they can keep giving. It's like that message of, before you can fill other people's cup, you have to make sure that yours is filled. Otherwise, it'll just be pouring from an empty cup. So if you've been especially drained lately, pile 2, be wary of that. Pay attention to your energy and how much you're being drained, okay? I mean, maybe that's really what this Bill Cipher person has been. Maybe they've been the one really draining on you, like, manipulating you and, like, draining you. Like, playing on your emotions, be like, I need more, and kind of like a needy little kitten that keeps pushing the other kittens out of the way. So pay attention closely to who has been draining you as well, and also, like, your own energy levels is part of what they're saying here with that particular card. Okay. But your giving nature, or what you already have given to the situation, pile 2, is part of what will turn it out for the better. Okay, so that hasn't gone to waste. You're giving, like, especially if you felt manipulated, like that person maybe had, like, taken a lot from you. The universe heard that, pile 2, and that's going to be paid back to you in full. Okay, so it's just, you think of it as like, oh, I gave to this person who was manipulative. Oh, it's a loss. No, but really it was a loan, and the universe is going to pay you back, and then pay them back for their deficit, right? So pay attention to those things. We have your flower deck next. I thought flowers would also be good for a joy reading, right? It's not quite spring here yet in the Northern Hemisphere, but I can dream. I can pretend there's no snow out on the ground, especially when the other day I had to shovel, like, tons of it. It was not fun, but we have the White Rose. New start and wisdom. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, from Aristotle. Yes, and that was, I believe it was the quote on the side of the building of the Oracle of Delphi in ancient Greece. It was know thyself, right? But yes, new start, wisdom. So I think too, like, especially if it's been a project that you've been frustrated with, pile 2, I think you might be moved to something new. And 2, we also have the kittens, which are new. Like, it's a new beginning, new birth. So if there's been any stagnancy that you've been frustrated with as well, pile 2, like, yeah, I really do feel, especially for those of you this is work related, it's like you're going to be moved to a new project that's a lot better. And it's not as frustrating. And the wisdom just once again makes me think of that sun reversed, of like other people gaining the wisdom about what's really been going on. And then that will help people realize like what you've been having to put up with and like everything that you've been kind of dealing with on your own, pile 2. And then it's like, excuse me, ooh, my voice got scratchy. It's like a new start. It's like a new, even the butterflies too, because butterflies represent rebirth. There's something new coming down the pipeline. Something new. I'm really feeling strongly, like I said, for a lot of you, it's like a new project at work that will replace the frustrating one. Or it's like, for those of you, like maybe it's been a customer that's been really draining you. Like the person that's been manipulative has been like a difficult customer, let's just say, or like someone that you've been working for that's been difficult. It's like someone new is going to take their place. Like either it's like a different boss or manager, or it could also be like a different, like maybe this customer is a pain in the butt, but then you get a new one who like pays really well and they're really nice compared. Something along those lines. And very fitting for the spring season too, because spring is also a time of rebirth, right? And babies, new things, right? Like kittens. Very cute. Let's do angels next. Angels were another deck I thought would be fitting for a joy reading, right? We like having angels around, especially when we need some help and light. So angels, if you could come forward with a message regarding this whole thing for pile 2, that would be awesome. Thank you. I already know this one is the one we have. Trust the universe. Yes. Remember I was talking before about it's like you've given and it's like the universe remembered your loan, pile 2, and it's going to pay you back for it. For everything that you have given. So trust the universe. Trust, pile 2, as difficult as it might be. Trust that people that have been manipulative or negative in the situation, what goes around comes around. And people like you that have been positive in the situation, once again, what goes around comes around. You have given, you've been strong, you've been the nice one, I'm feeling here. That's going to get paid back to you in full. And the people that have not been so nice, or person maybe, that's going to get paid back to them in full. Okay? There is karmic justice. There is equal return. Okay? I keep hearing, and I can't say the full thing on YouTube because I know sometimes YouTube is really touchy about swearing. So, but I keep hearing FAFO, and you all know what that means. So someone FAFO'd and they're going to find out, and they're getting to the find out stage is what I'm hearing. So if you really been wishing someone getting to the find out stage, that's coming soon. That's part of the happy message as well. Okay. Yep. Definitely. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh because it's not like a fun situation, pile 2, but it's also really satisfying to me as the tarot reader, hearing that not only is the situation going to get better for you, but also like someone that's been a pain in the butt is going to finally get what's coming to them. So, yeah, I like to hear that for my viewers. We like karmic justice, don't we? Okay. And then we've got the Citadel Oracle as the last oracle for today. Okay, well, that was quick. The Catalyst. Ooh. With the element of fire. The Catalyst. Radical changes and taking control. Yeah. So pile 2, I almost wonder too if like... because here's the thing with this character, and I'm sorry, it's like, I have to kind of explain the character a little bit more for this to make sense, for those of you that aren't familiar with, like, Gravity Falls, where that doc is from, the pop culture reference, but this person, like I said, is like, or this character is a demon. He literally will possess people, hence why he's manipulative. Like, he'll be like, oh, I'm your best friend, and then he turns around, he possesses people, like, completely ruins their life, right? So that's why, like, when I read Taking Control, it reminded me of that character, because it's literally like a demon, effectively. So I think it's like this bad person has been taking too much control, but the change here, and it might even seem like completely out of left field or impossible at this point, because I know it says radical changes pile 2, so it's like something that's very surprising, but it's like that's also part of like the karmic turn, is you're going to take control back from them. Because that's what happened with that character in the story where this character, like, showed in. Because, yeah, he was, like, a demon who possessed other people. He took control of other people. And then at the end, his demise was people taking control of him, kind of. Like, he got manipulated and tricked himself, okay? So I think wherever you've been lacking control in this situation, pile 2... Oh, and I just remembered, too, that character also, he puppets people, literally. Like, not just the possession thing, but he literally refers to them as, like, puppets. Which, once again, I think of, like, taking control. So it's like you're finally going to be able to, like, take your own strings back and puppet yourself. And, like, other people are not going to be, like, manipulated in the situation either. Like, their puppet strings are going to be cut from whatever this bad influence has been. And that's going to finally turn everything completely around. Like, I know I'm repeating here, pile 2, but I get really strong karmic turnaround justice vibes from this whole entire reading, okay? Once again, FAFO. Which is, I'm sure you're probably relieved to hear, because you're like, I can already tell pile 2. Like, when that Nine of Wands came out earlier, I was like, oh god, they're frustrated, aren't they? Especially with the Knight of Pentacles reversed right next to it. Like, that's really frustrated vibes I get from this reading for you. So my condolences for you having to deal with this, pile 2, but I'm glad to be able to tell you this is going to change, okay? It's going to change. It's going to turn around. You're going to get rid of whoever this is, or like they're going to get their power taken away from them so they can't be a pain in the butt anymore for anybody, right? Things like that. And I do, I think I do want to but like end the reading with, because I did this for pile 1 too. I was asked, like, how does this come about? Why does this get cut? Or like, why does this, like, what's the actual, like, mechanism of the universe of change that will fix this for you? So I think I'm going to take a drink, and then I'm also going to grab my tarot deck here and grab at least, like, one more card to explain how does this change? What takes their power away? So take my sip, and then let's draw some tarot. So Spirit, can you explain a little bit more how does this person FAFO? I want to know. Or how does this change for the better for pile 2? Like, what's the mechanism? Literally, like, what happens? Okay, so first we have the Nine of Cups. That is very odd. We have wishes fulfilled. It's the smug card. Oh, you know, pile 2, I wonder if they almost get baited in some way. Because once again, that just reminds me of that character. Because once again, like at the end, he got manipulated and tricked. After he had been manipulating and tricking people for, like, I don't know, millions of years probably. That character is like, I don't know. It's like an eldritch horror being, effectively. So, and that's how he got lured in, and the story was like, it was like, okay, well, here's what you want. Like, I swear to God, I'm not tricking you, and then the characters tricked him, right? So I think that's how this person gets thwarted. It's like they get lured in by something that seems really appealing. Like, the wish is fulfilled is what the Nine of Cups means. But it's a trick. Oh, I wonder how that comes about. Let's draw one more card. The Devil. Literally pile 2. Look at that. Because the Devil upright is about the things that hold us back or bind us. Or it's like, it's almost kind of like a being imprisoned thing. So maybe this literally is someone that goes to prison, pile 2? They go to prison, or it's something that's like a metaphorical imprisoning of some sort. Or it's like, it can also mean like by their own downfall, because the Devil can mean like the things that we do to imprison ourselves. Okay, like addictions are like a thing that are often referred to with the devil. It's like something that imprisons yourself, is like your own self-addiction to something. But yeah, it's like a wish is fulfilled, but it's a trap. It's imprisoned from your wishes. So it's either like they self-imprison themselves, or someone like, and maybe even, I don't know if you do it, pile 2, but something lures them in with what they think they want, and then bam, there comes the jail cell door down. Either literally or metaphorically. Wow, I've never had a reading like this before, pile 2. This is interesting. I kind of want to know, for those of you this is resonating, like, please let me know in the comments below, like, what the story is, because I'm really curious. I'm like, what's going on here? But overall, though, pile 2, just once again, just reiterating the positivity of this reading that'll bring, like I said, a smile to your face in the intro. This will get cleared out. You're not going to be frustrated anymore. You're going to be able to wrangle the monster, so to speak, right? Truth will come out. The person that's been manipulative or the issue in the situation is going to get everything turned around on them, like perfectly like karmic justice style. And everything good that you have been doing is going to get paid back to you in like twofold as well. Okay, like the giving especially was the emphasis with the cat card that came out. Yeah. And radical change, taking back control. Remember that too. That was your catalyst card up here. What an interesting reading. Well, I hope it did bring a smile to your face, especially pile 2, if that did resonate with, like, if you have, like, a Bill Cipher type character in your life, that's never, ever, ever fun. So I'm glad to be able to express to you that that's going to fix itself. It's going to change, right? Yeah, so if it did bring a smile to your face, please, like and comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide readings for both you and others in the future, forevermore. And as I always say, our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day with lots of karmic justice on the way. Okay, it's always a good thing to hear, right? And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, my beautiful, wonderful pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a joyful message meant for you. As you recall, the pile leader, or deck I should say you chose, was the Forest of Enchantment Tarot with the card of Sunlight. We have almost looks like Pan, or at least a satyr figure of some sort, playing the pan flute looking at the sun. Very gorgeous, vibrant card. I wish it was that green outside right now instead of snowy where I am. Don't we all? At least all of us in the northern hemisphere. Gorgeous. So when we do pick with tarot decks, for those of you familiar, we do put the card right back into the deck so it's available for the message if need be. And to begin your reading, we will draw tarot, as well as one of the oracle decks. So, Spirit, for the highest best good of pile 3, could you please provide more context about what area of their life or what's going on regarding this happy message? What do you want them to know that will bring a smile to their face? Thank you. Three. I'm going to take that one too because it kind of came out together. 3, 4, and 5. And then the next deck we have is actually a pop culture deck. I've used this before on the channel, but if you're not familiar, I do love Gravity Falls, so I have a Gravity Falls deck. And if you don't know the reference, don't worry, I'll explain everything in the context of your reading. So, what area of their life does this deal with, Spirit? Thank you. Well, that was quite quick. Oh boy, okay. I could barely draw any cards for it, just flew out. Okay, so we have Mabel Land. Okay. Dream come true, soft illusion. So, for those of you not familiar with Gravity Falls, like I said, I'll explain what the reference means. So basically what happened was there was one of the main characters who kind of got caught in a dreamland, and it was fantastic on the surface. However, it was all an illusion. Hence the name illusion as one of the keywords. So I feel like your reading today is either about like literally a dream that you've been working on that you want like to come true, or it's like a dream that you wanted to come true but you realized that something that you wanted was like an illusion. Like maybe you didn't want that dream anymore, like maybe kind of you've been a little bit uncertain about your path forward now that, like, that dream is going to put to the wayside, or it's like it didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. Or it's like it worked out, but it wasn't as satisfying as you thought it would be, is another thing I'm intuitively hearing here. So for some of you, it might be either something you want to come true or something that you thought you wanted to come true, but maybe it wasn't the best thing. But let's grab some more context with the tarot cards, because that'll help us kind of nail it down. So the first tarot card you have is the Weaver, or the Queen of Visions or Cups. So Queen of Cups is all about following the heart. Very fitting with this card too, because this character, her name is Mabel, hence why it's called Mabel Land, right? She's like a Queen of Cups. She follows her heart. She's very emotional. Okay. So I think that represents you in the situation, pile 3. You've really wanted to follow your heart on something. It's something you really desire. Something you've been dreaming about. Okay. You can even see in the way that she's reaching forward. It's like she's yearning for something. And interesting, it's almost like, I know she's like shifting into a fish, or like almost a mermaid type creature. It's like finally achieving or reaching something. But let's see the next card. And then we have, 8 of Cups. Okay, so pile 3, this is kind of what I was saying before, and I think this locks down more concretely what the Mabel Land has been talking about. 8 of Cups is all about emotionally, emotionally moving on from something. And you can even get the sense of someone like wandering here. Like they're lost. They're going this way and that way, this way, that way. Like they're following different illusions. Okay, so I think for most of you, pile 3, this was a dream that you sought after, and it was either you got there and it wasn't as good as you thought it was, or you're realizing maybe that's not really my dream. Maybe that's just an illusion and there's something else that I really want. But in either case, it's something that you're like, it's like you followed your heart, but you're like emotionally moving on from it already with that 8 of Cups. Is what I'm hearing. Okay, so this is what your message that's supposed to bring you joy is about today. Okay, so that's the context. Let's grab the heart of the matter. We have, the 2 of Wands reversed. Just even more confirmation, pile 3. You don't know what plans to make for the future, do you? This is the heart of the matter. Literally, the 2 of Wands reversed is either being so hesitant to make solid plans that you kind of keep stagnating a bit, or it can mean like you're not even certain, what path do I take? What do I even want to do? It's almost kind of like you're at a crossroads in your life right now, and I think part of the message is going to be giving clarity on that, and that's what will bring the smile to your face, okay? We have, Seeker, or the Queen of Boons or Pentacles reversed, okay. Maybe likely something to do with your career or money, because the Pentacles is related to money and career. Home sometimes too, sometimes our health I read for Pentacles as well. So it's like in the near future, pile 3. Or even right now at this point, you're in this stage of, I don't know what plans to make for the future. I don't know what I want to do. I can't decide. And then, the Queen of Pentacles reversed is like, almost kind of feeling insecure. Like, I don't know if there's a bit of a money pressure with this. Like you're feeling like, oh, I'm going to run out of resources, or do I have the resources I need to go forward with this, or to like make these plans? Like it's a very, and this sounds really silly, pile 3, but I keep getting the imagery of, for those of you familiar with Winnie the Pooh, he would always kind of like sit his butt down and he'd like tap his hand to his forehead and he'd go, think, think, think. Think, 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 think. And he would just sit there and he'd keep doing that. And that's kind of how I see you right now, pile 3, is you're like at the think, think, think stage. You're like, what the heck do I do? What do I do to go forward? Or where do I even want to walk forward to? Okay. And then the outcome is the Child of the Page of Challenges or Swords, okay. Think, think, think. Literally, this is like the think, think, think card. Especially because the page of any particular suit is always like a student, an explorer. There's someone who's like new to something that they've been kind of figuring out, or they've been exploring, literally, hence why they're an explorer, right? And swords or challenges are ideas, ways of thinking, okay? So that is the outcome card, pile 3. It tells me that you're soon going to find the conclusion that you're looking for. You're soon going to find that path. as the Page of Swords does, especially upright. You might still be in a little bit of an exploratory phase. And if money has been a concern about this, I think because this Page of Swords at the end means it's like a time of more thinking, things are going to work out to give you more time to do that thinking, especially like maybe you're worried about like having to make a decision before a certain time, like amount of money or time runs out, right? You're going to be afforded that, but also you're going to come to the right conclusion. You're going to be able to come to a clear conclusion that I'm hearing it's like the moment you, like that light bulb ping, like turns on in your mind, you're like, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to go. That's how I want to do this, okay? Because so far it's like this whole, it's like another imagery they're showing me is like you've been walking through cotton candy. And it's like kind of nice and it's kind of soft, right? Like literally even with Mabeland it talks about something being soft, right? But it's really hard to walk through because it's sticky. You know, it looks nice, but it's not really conducive to a lot of grasp for your feet on your path forward, okay? So yeah, maybe it's been nice to take a pause and think, but at the same time, I do feel a sense deep down of you wanting to finally gain that clarity, and that's what's coming forward is that clarity. I think not only through this reading, okay, pile 3, because I think that's part of the happy message they want to share with you is giving more of an indication about, you know, maybe what path to potentially to take. You know, you always have free will, pile 3, but tarot readings are great in terms of helping you with advice on coming to conclusions on your own, right? But yeah. Very interesting. Think, like Pooh Bear. Okay, so to continue the reading, I picked decks today literally just because I thought they would bring smiles to people's faces, because I was like, oh, it's a joy reading, right? So we literally have like a cat deck, so I always say apologies to any dog people, but I'm a cat person through and through. I mean, I love dogs too, I love all animals, but I just thought, well, you know what? Kittens will make people smile today. Though there are other animals, I think there's puppies and rabbits in here too, so let's grab some more context of what's going on. Let's see. I'm drawn to this pink one right here. Speaking of cotton candy, look at those colors. Oh, so we do have a puppy and we have a kitten. Okay, so cheekiness. Very interesting. I'll read the back. It says, embrace your inner cheek. Lighten up and spread some cheer with those around you by not taking life so seriously. Okay, before I even read the next part, pile 3, I'm even going to cover it for you. You're worrying too much. You're taking things too seriously. You're not remembering to have enough fun with the exploration. Okay. I think that's why the Page of Swords came out at the end here too. Because here's the thing, pile 3. When thinking about possibilities for the future, you're not meant to do it in a way that is like straining upon you, that brings you stress, that brings you anxiety. And I know that's easier said than done. And I completely say that pile 3 is someone that like I've had anxiety my whole entire life. So if you're like that too, I get it. It is not sunshine and roses. It's not easy to just not worry about things. I 100% understand you. I get where you're coming from. But at the same time, we need to remember that being allowed time to explore and think is also a time to have fun with possibilities. Okay? Because literally, look at Mabeland again. That's like a dream come true, like it says, but it's also a dreamland, okay? Have more fun in the process of the way that you think about what step to take forward, okay? Keep fun in mind. Okay, now I'll read the second part. So it says, dare to free yourself of the expectation that you must always act your age. There's always room for a bit of tongue-in-cheek fun. Okay, maybe a little bit of inner child work would help too, pile 3, because when it talks about like free yourself of the expectation of needing to act your age, that almost tells me that you need to indulge in your inner child more as well, okay, as part of the exploration of where to go from here. Because sometimes when we return to the things that made us joyful as children, we remember things about what we like and what we don't like, okay? So even if it's something as silly as, I'm hearing finger painting for some reason, pile 3, or you could do painting even just with anything, right? But especially when I think of like kids painting, I think of finger painting, right? And like paint your feelings is what I'm hearing. I know it sounds weird, but like, or do something that allows you to create more freely and with fun. Or something that you did as a child that brought you a lot of fun, okay? You know, be it like, you know, walk to the park, go swimming for fun if you're in, well, you either have an indoor pool or a place that's warm enough to swim outside, right? What's another thing coming through? Writing, journaling. Maybe you journaled a lot as a kid and you don't do that anymore. Maybe journaling would help as well. But in either case, like, just remember, lighten up. It's okay to have fun with this process. It's not supposed to be straining, or it's not supposed to be stressful, I guess is another word, pile 3. You're supposed to have fun with this process, okay? So as much as you might have to, as an adult, worry about, like, the who, what, when, where, why aspect of things, like the very responsible things, remind yourself, I need to have fun with this, too. That's another indicator of what direction to take, or at least how to go about thinking about what direction you want to take. Okay, so there's that. And then I also wanted to do an angel deck for today because I also thought, well, angels make people happy, right? A light positive influence, especially in a joy reading. So if angels could come forward for my wonderful pile 3 today and give us some advice, that would be awesome. Thank you. What else do you want them to know about this? Self-acceptance. You know, that gives me another imagery of like inner child work, pile 3, because that's another thing about kids. Until they are a certain age, when they're exposed to the judgment of others, kids don't really judge themselves too much, do they? They don't think, oh, I shouldn't do that silly thing because other people will think I'm dumb. Or they don't think about, you know, oh, I'm gonna inhibit the thing that I like because I fear that I'll be judged. They don't do that until they're a certain age, right? Pile 3, unless, I mean, especially in their teenage years, that really comes out, like they fear the judgment of their peers. But I suppose even younger than that a little bit. But when they're really, really little, they don't fear that. They have self-acceptance. They're just like, oh, this is the thing I like. I'm going to do it even if it's silly. Which is funny because literally that's the character of Mabel in Gravity Falls, which is this particular Oracle deck we drew at the beginning references. She's got the same thing. She's someone who is very inner child, and like that's part of her character arc is she's a preteen at the point that the show takes place in the story. And even many other characters, it's like the theme of the show a lot is like growing up, but also not completely letting the joy of childhood go, but then also being mature enough to know when to not be so silly. Like that's literally kind of like Mabel's story in this, because she's very silly, she's very inner child connected in the beginning of the story, but then because it's like a Bildungsroman and she's growing up, she learns not only how to grow up, but she also learns, you know, you don't have to let everything about childhood go as you grow up, you know. You can still be connected to your family from childhood, you know, of course, you know, assuming they're nice people, right? You can still be into the things that you were into as a child, okay? And that's literally like Mabel's character is that self-acceptance, right? I mean, the other characters kind of deal with that too in their own ways, but she's especially about like inner child stuff because she is so silly and childish as a character. So that's why I'm bringing this up so much in your reading pile 3. You're probably like, I didn't watch that show. What are you talking about? But it's relevant to your reading because I think that's part of what they're telling you. Like, I wonder if you almost already have an idea what you want to do, but you think it's too silly. Or it's like a dream you had as a child and like other people or yourself keep saying, oh, that's dumb. That'll never work. That's too silly. But it's like this angel is coming forward to tell you, pile 3, to self-accept that part of yourself that believes in dreams and believes in things the way that children do. Which is funny because literally I have, as I was saying that, literally there's something in front of me that says children. It's a book right here. It's kind of what I prop my mic on. There's a book right here. It says children on it. It says, it's a young adult book. Speaking of indulging in inner child things, I have a young adult book right here. It's called Children of Blood and Bone. But anyways, it's funny because I looked at that synchronicity. I said children right as I was staring at it. But yeah, Self-acceptance. Getting back to your reading, sorry. Like, and even too, it says child here as your outcome. Because in this particular deck, all the pages are children. They're the child of whatever their suit is, right? Please, 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 please do inner child work. Okay, that's been very, really emphasized here. But specifically in terms of self-acceptance with things. Okay, so I won't ramble on too much more about that. We already talked about the inner child thing a lot, but because it is so emphasized, we are spending more time on it. So let's draw also a flower card. I thought flowers would be great for a joy reading. Okay, so we got 2 flowers that just popped out. Let's see. So the first one is very cute. We have Coreopsis or Tickseed. This is always joyful. How fitting for our reading today. This is write it on your heart that every day is the best day of the year. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Follow your joy, pile 3. What makes you happy, even if it seems silly? Okay. Once again, inner child. Okay, I'll stop talking about inner child stuff. But then we have the Camellia with destiny. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. And that was a quote from Shakespeare, from the great English poet, right? Playwright. It's in your fate, pile 3. It's almost like I think you keep denying what it is you really want, but it's in your fate anyways. And it's like Spirit keeps saying, well, why are you denying this thing that you're meant for? Like, why do you keep denying yourself? I almost wonder if it's like a way of, it's like you think it's either too good to be true, or it's like that silly aspect. You're like, oh, it's too silly, or it's like, but either way, pile 3, you're meant to do this, okay? Whatever you decide on, it's written in the stars, okay? It's supposed to happen. I get like life path, life contract, soul contract vibes off of this reading too for you. God, there's so much about being happy. Follow what makes you happy, please, pile 3, okay? A very strong message on top of the inner child stuff, okay? Then we have the Citadel Oracle. Let's see what pops out with the Citadel Oracle. Okay, well that one just kind of... The Tailor with the element of water. Attention to detail and pride. Now, I wonder if pride is getting in your way a little bit, pile 3. That, or it's saying, whatever you think is silly, be proud of. Okay? But that's the thing, is you think of a tailor, someone who makes clothing. And they do have to have really strong attention to detail. You know, I wonder if even some of you, maybe part of your dream is to go into, like, fashion or modeling or making clothing. Making things out of fiber arts, things like that, or fabric. Because it's like something that requires that attention to detail, or it's like related to tailoring in some way. How interesting. And you did have water pop up a lot earlier in your reading with all the visions cards, which is cups in most tarot decks. So it's like, I almost wonder if in a roundabout way you're going to kind of come back to the original conclusion that you were at in the first place, pile 3. It's like, it's one of those journeys I'm seeing here intuitively where it's like you wanted something and then you thought it was dumb, or something got in the way, or you thought it was too silly, or like not good enough. And then it's like you go on this roundabout path trying to find some other way or trying to find some other goal. And then it's like that path just circles right back around and like brings you back to the thing that you thought that you weren't supposed to do. And it's like you do it anyways because it's like, yeah, it's like that fate. It's destiny. It's like, what's that quote? I'm referencing Kung Fu Panda here. And I don't know if that particular quote references something else, but there's a character in Kung Fu Panda. He's Master Oogway. He's the turtle, right? Very wise character. And he says something about one often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it. And that reminds me a lot of you with this reading, pile 3. So whatever you're avoiding, I think you're going to meet on the road to destiny anyways. Because like the quote says, one often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it. Okay. So whatever it is you've been struggling to figure out in terms of what your goal or your dream is here, pile 3, or maybe just not the whole entire dream or goal itself, but maybe aspects of it, there's something about inevitability anyways. And the good news is here, pile 3, is it's something that brings you joy. So whatever the outcome, it's like, it's not going to, like, you might be reluctant at this point, but in the end, it's going to bring you happiness, okay? So when you go through this period of thinking, of deep thinking, right? Like Pooh Bear putting the hand to his head, think, think, think. Keep in mind what would, like if you were to ask a 5-year-old version of yourself what they think about what you should do, what would they say? What would 5-year-old you give you advice to do? Okay, so that's like one thing to kind of walk away from the reading with. Number 2, what makes you happy? That's criteria number 2, okay? And what is something, another question to ask is, what is something that you're running away from that's an inevitable part of yourself that you can't avoid? And why are you avoiding it? Why are you running away from who you are? Okay? Why are you afraid of that core piece of yourself? Is another question I'm hearing for you. Okay. So I think this is a reading of, in a roundabout way, you might find yourself on a path that you thought you walked away from. And even if that sounds scary or like not your favorite outcome right now, pile 3, there's something about it that's going to bring you happiness, okay? So that is the message that they wanted to share with you today. Okay, so hold on to those pieces of childhood. Hold on to your happiness. Hold on to your heart. Because they're part of your fate here with this particular message, this reading, okay? And have fun. That's the last piece of advice that will remind you of today, okay? Have fun with it. No need to be so serious all the time, pile 3. Okay, so I hope that reading brought a smile to your face. I hope it was at least helpful or brought you some sort of peace. If you did like it and if it did resonate, please like and comment and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide readings for both you and others more so in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you in the next reading, pile 3. Bye.